Yes, you lovely people, if you're not already, make sure you give us a follow over on Spotify.
And we're doing just volleying at each other, and he'd catch it like this.
Yeah, that weird one.
Yeah, that's
I'd be
strange,
like,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I went, Casper, you can't catch it like that. I said, that's not right. And I was like, but your dad does it, doesn't he?
Hello everybody, I'm Ben Foster. This is the Fozcast, and today I'm double excited. Tom, we're double excited, aren't we?
Very excited.
Double excited, treble excited, because I have got one of my all-time footballing idols in, and he's laughing already, but we've got David Seaman. David, welcome to the Fozcast,
Pleasure.
mate.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
having me.
coming in, mate.
Absolutely. Yeah, can't wait.
Before we get started, right, can you please put your hand up and show everybody at home, look at these shovels,
there you go.
right? So put that next to mine. Oh, God. That is ridiculous. I'm gonna get a proper picture of this and we'll put it on Instagram or whatever. They are the biggest hands I've ever seen, without doubt. Okay, right, Tomasi, talk us through David Seaman's career quickly in numbers.
Right.
Quickly.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be a quick one. So the podcast we were chatting earlier on. This could be 4 or 5 hours long. So before that reason, we're going to kind of just quickly frame it with where you played earlier on in your career, and then we'll kind of move on and talk about Arsenal and England. Cool. And for mine and Ben's generation, really, like kind of growing up. So obviously you started your youth career with Leeds, moved on to Peterborough, and then signing for Birmingham, onto QPR and that dodgy plastic pitch.
Yeah, first year.
Yeah, for 140 or so appearances, and then the big move to Arsenal. So we'll kind of dive straight in on that, and we wanted to talk about the current Arsenal team, really.
Right.
So, Ben, do you want to kind of go into goalie chat, or?
Yeah, we'll go into goalie chat, because you when you arrived today, you said, I saw the podcast with Aaron Ramsdale the other day. I was so impressed with Aaron, honestly. Just as a human being, on a personal level, I was blown away by how just sort of grown up. The head he's got on his shoulders already at the age of 23 is incredible. But you still at the moment get to go into Arsenal and train with the guy. Kind of, what is it, weekly, 2 weekly, 3 weekly?
No,
or something like that?
I try and get in every week. I'm mainly with the under 23s, and I'm doing like a mentor stroke coaching role. And then sometimes we go over and watch the first team. And then I just have chats with Aaron and that, and just try and show him or tell him what I went through.
Little pointers.
Like when he first joined Arsenal, he was getting a bit of stick, weren't he?
Yeah, of course.
Because they were saying like 30 million on a number 2. You know, why do we need that? We don't need him. Plus when Martinez.
Yeah, I remember Martinelli. Then Martinelli's the striker who played there, obviously.
But Martinez, he went to Villa,
yeah.
and Arsenal fans didn't want that. And if I'm honest, I was like, why letting him go?
Yeah, sure.
Because he's proven.
I know.
He played the last few games of the season.
Incredible. We played the last game of the season against him, and he was man of the match. We lost the game, I think 2 or 3-0. But honestly, he must have made 5 or 6 saves, like proper saves as well.
Yeah, and then he'd had the cup finals and that, and then so Aaron was under a bit of pressure, and then I put out I did an article talking about it, and I said, well, that's exactly what happened to me when I first came to Arsenal. I was under pressure.
Really? Who were the goalies there then?
John Lukey. So he's a massive fan's favourite.
Yeah.
And then next thing, I'm signing, and it nearly didn't happen because it fell through on transfer deadline day. So then I had to go back to QPR, and I was getting called all sorts of names
because you were trying to leave.
My cards.
Yeah,
I was wanting to leave.
Yeah.
And then Lukey didn't want to go.
So when you signed for Arsenal, was you signing knowing that you're probably going to be number 1?
I knew I was going to be number, because I've been told that John was going to be moved on.
Yeah. Okay.
So he went to Leeds, didn't he?
He went to Leeds, yeah. But I think the reason it fell through is because Arsenal had to get rid of him for me to come in because of the numbers in the squad or something. And so, but then he was like, no, I'm not going anywhere. Typical job.
Yeah.
Me and John grew up together at Leeds. He would pick me up on the M1 when I was like 16, 17.
Joking.
And we'd go and train together and like serve each other.
So what was that like then? What's that dynamic like when you're going into Arsenal? He's already the number 1 goalkeeper, but you're going in to take his place already. Was he cool with that?
Well, we didn't really cross paths because I signed and he
was out the door.
Yeah, so, but he was still my mate, and I still see him, and we still have a good laugh.
Nice,
and that,
yeah.
And then he came back to Arsenal, so he came back as like my number 2 stroke 3.
Yeah, okay.
And did like really well. He played in a Champions League game when I got injured in the warm up.
Yeah.
I shot there. I've done a few of them, and he did proper. He had a great game.
Did he? Yeah. Even how old he would have been?
He must
older
have been
before,
nearly
yeah.
40.
I mean, fair dude.
Easy. Yeah.
I would love that being nearly. It's my age, bloody hell! I was going to say that's like me now. I'm 38, I'm 39 in a couple of months' time.
Yeah.
Those days sort of seem long gone. But you were still, like you say, you didn't retire till 40, or did you?
40. I retired at 40.
That's good going, isn't it? So a lot of people say, look, 'cause you were still playing though, weren't you, when you were 40?
Yeah, because I went to Man City. I went up there, and I still felt I'd got another year.
Really?
I remember being on the beach in Portugal. And Arsene Wenger phoned me up, and this is just after I was captain for the day against Southampton in the cup final.
Wow.
And we won.
Wow.
So I raised the trophy and everything.
Yeah.
He phones me up. He says, "Oh, David, I've got an offer for you." Like, okay. You want to be my number 3 goalie? I was like, number 3?
So you've just come off the back of being first choice.
Yeah.
You've just played the FA Cup final as captain.
Yeah.
And he's telling you now you're number 3 now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he went, "I want you to be number 3 goalkeeper, and then I want you to be my goalkeeping coach." And I was like, "Oh, it is something that I had thought about, because I'd had Bob Wilson all my career almost at Arsenal, and and it was brilliant that. But and I just started laughing because then he went, "Yeah, but." I was like, "Yeah," and he went, "There's a 75% wage drop."
Is there any good news in this, Arsene? Any chance, mate?
And that's why I went to Man City. I still felt I could play for another year.
Yeah.
In the end, it proved that I didn't, because I got injured like halfway through.
What was the injury that finished
shoulder?
It? Was it?
Yeah, I got hit. I went down at Yakubu's feet at Portsmouth away. Sometimes when you put and you want to slide into a save at feet, but then my knee dug in and it spun me over. So as
it's a big jolt, isn't it? Yeah.
His knee went straight into my shoulder.
Oh, you bugger.
So I saw the X-rays and the scans, and they went, "Look, you've got a lot of wear and tear. You've sprained your AC joint, which means it could start dislocating." I was like, "I've had enough."
Yeah.
10 days before that, we're playing away at Wolves, Man City. Ball's down the other end. I've just stood in goal like that, looking, and I just went, "What am I doing?"
Really?
I swear. And I'd never had that feeling before. The next day, I went in and saw Kevin Keegan. I said, "Kevin, just to let you know, I'm going to retire in the summer, so you can get a goalie."
Yeah.
10 days later, I got injured.
So, mate, so you just know. So is that how it works?
It just went boom like that.
This is something at the minute I'm really sort of like, it's intriguing me like you wouldn't believe. We actually did an Amazon thing with Wayne Rooney the other day, and I was trying to talk to him and pick his brains about when he knew he wanted to retire. And for him, he was always... He was like, "I still feel like I play now." He still kept saying, like, even the other day, he was like, "I still feel like I play now." He's a bit bigger than what he used to be, by the way. But he was like, "I still feel like I could play now." So for him, he never really knew. But anybody else I come across, I really am trying to pick their brains of when they finally knew. Because for me, honestly, I still go in every day and I'm like a big kid. I'm honestly,
that's
love
brilliant. And I'm sure that at some stage it'll happen where, even like moving on from that, during Harry's Heroes, when I was doing that,
which was belting, by the way, was belting, honestly.
But then I was in goal, and I made this save, and the ball popped up and popped out, and I'm like trying to get up. Honestly, I felt like a beach whale. I could hardly move. And then I was like, "That's it. I'm never playing again."
No exhibitions, nothing.
No penalty shootouts. I do penalty shootouts as long as I don't have to dive.
I guarantee you then, if you felt that at that moment in time, I guarantee you've watched the replay of it and the footage back, and you've watched it and you thought, "Oh no, look at the state of it."
Exactly. And it's horrible now because, like you go and kick the ball. Like I say, I go in at Arsenal and you try and serve and that, and it's like
really
nothing. Because you lose your muscles.
No, power's gone and all sorts.
Yeah. That's interesting because we had Chris Brunt in last week, absolute sledgehammer of a left foot, and he retired last season.
Right.
And even off camera, he was chatting to us and he goes, "I've lost that absolute power."
Yeah, the quick
He said,
power.
"I've lost that already."
In a year.
Yeah. Like, because obviously he could absolutely smash it.
He could absolutely lever the ball. He was one of those that would make it up dipping up and down and finger breakers and make us look like dickheads and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, when you're in with Arsenal, so how do you find Aaron? What do you think, sort of the way that he started anyway this season? He's been incredible, hasn't he?
Yes, he's been brilliant. And a lot of people have said that the 2 relegations that he's had with the clubs are really bad, and I'm thinking no, because this has given him some great experience under pressure. And he's gone in at Arsenal, and he's won the fans over.
Yeah.
Because all right, you can go and try and do that without making the saves. and then the fans will think, well, hang on a minute, we'll see what you like first. But he got the mix perfect, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was making saves, and then he was getting
personality
the fans on him, applauding them, and going round at the end of the game and chucking his gloves in and stuff like that. And he's done it really well, and I like it. I like what I see.
Yeah, really.
It's good, excuse me, and it's nice to hear the Arsenal fans singing England's number one again.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
I do. I think he's a breath of fresh air. I do. I love the way that because like I say, he sat here and he spoke for an hour and a half, and the way he spoke, we were all blown away by how incredible he was. But he's the same on the pitch, Dave. He is. He gets on there, and it's like he hasn't got a care in the world. He actually said at one point in the podcast that we did, he said, I get very bored with stuff. I can't sit still. He says, and even in the games, he says, I have to sing songs. I have to sing songs to myself, so I don't just like watch the game and get bored. He says, so I'll sing a song, and then the ball might come to me, and then I can act on it, sort of thing. That's an incredible mentality to have.
Well, I watched it because I knew, I'd said that I was going to come on, and I watched Aaron's one, and even like when he said, because he's something about Christmas songs as well, weren't he? He was singing along with the Christmas songs and stuff.
What a guy!
Nuts, isn't it?
So, but he knows what he wants.
Yeah,
that's the thing. And at 23, normally you just go out there and play, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
Just go and play and enjoy it. You got no pressures. But he's had pressure with them relegations that he's had. He's had proper pressure.
Grounding, isn't it?
Yeah. Because even I've had a relegation with Birmingham, but with that, but I've had the other end as well, and I'd much rather be at the other end than doing a relegation, because that you could be affecting people's livelihoods.
True.
Like the money that they get, or they might have to take a pay cut or whatever.
I think as well as that, on a really basic level, you're busier at the bottom of the league, aren't you?
Saying that, he's been busy for Arsenal, to be honest with you.
I know.
Arsenal goalies aren't normally that busy, are they?
No, they're not, and it's it's something that needs tightening up, and it is getting better.
Yeah, sure.
But then that's another part, a totally different part of goalkeeping. Not having anything to do, and then you've got to be at your best.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think for me, in my career when I was younger, especially sort of United, England, all that kind, that's the bit that I just didn't have. I didn't have that at all. If I was busy, like you know how it is. If you make a save in the first minute of the game, right, and it's a decent save, it's like a really good one, it sets you up for the game. Yeah. But if you haven't touched the ball for 60 or 70 minutes, I've got 60 or 70 minutes in my head going, well, you haven't touched it yet. Yeah. Don't make your first touch a cock up or something. It does, doesn't it? The goalkeeper's mind. It's a weird and wonderful thing, honestly.
Well, you're watching the game, aren't you? For large parts of it, you are spectating the game.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to think of something to help you concentrate. Like with Aaron, he said that he finds it really hard. And it is, because sometimes you can start looking at the crowd. I swear to you, I remember being on the pitch once, and all these flies were coming out of the grass, so there was like a hatch coming out of the grass. And I was thinking about, I wonder what they are. I wonder if I can make a fly to match that'll help me catch more trout.
That's unbelievable.
So, hold on. That's one thing I want to pick up on there, okay? I've got a theory, Dave, okay? And I want you to give me your perspective on my theory here, okay? So I think the modern day goalkeeper, right? I think everybody now is at such a high level, especially on the goalkeeping sort of. Every goalkeeper is at such a high level. Everyone can make brilliant saves.
Technically, all really,
everybody is at a very, very similar level, right? The bit that separates the best goalkeepers, the ones at the top of their game at the minute, Alissons, Edisons, those kind of goalkeepers, for me, is that mentality part of it. It's the not having much to do, still making a world-class save. How many times does Alisson do that, for example? I think that is the biggest thing between a world-class goalkeeper and the rest.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And it's being able to be ready for that one save.
Yeah.
And not let the fact that you've had nothing to do, don't let that get in your head.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking, I've had nothing to do. I better go and get that cross.
Yeah.
And that cross might not be yours.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying, forcing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And J-Mo admits to that now.
Yeah.
And he says sometimes I used to I would get that bored. I would feel that I had to go and do something, and I would go and chase a cross that wasn't mine.
Really?
Yeah. He says if we'd won 3-0 and I'd had nothing to do, he says I was fuming.
Wow.
I was like, really?
Wow.
That's
it
mad.
really shocked me. It did.
That is really
and I was like, I'm totally opposite. I'm like, if I've had nothing to do, I'm like, yes, we're on top.
Yeah.
Well, David Seaman is that your whole career was basically you just being the steadiest, eddiest. Like, no, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
Though.
But I want a goalkeeper that I know I am going to get 7.5 out of 10 every single game without fail. Reliability. That's exactly what you were, wasn't it? That for me it's worth its weight in gold, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, and it's a different. I had a different way of being a goalkeeper. You look at Schmeichel's style. You know, me and him were two totally different goalkeepers, but they both work
just as effective.
It's whatever suits you. You know, whatever makes you feel better when you're out on that pitch.
Yeah, I think
because you're on your own all the time. You're waiting for the ball to come to you.
Yeah.
You can't go and chase it.
Yeah, don't go and chase it. Like you said there about the forcing it thing. Like that's the little tiny decisions between should I come and get involved in that or should I just stay back from that and let the defender deal with it.
Yeah. Even the decision not to go for the cross is still a good decision.
Exactly, it is. Oh, this is bonkers, right? I was thinking about this in the game the other day against Brighton. I'm not even joking, you right? A ball came in and I kind of thought, it's on the edge. It's on the edge. I could possibly, it's close to whether I come or not. In the end, I didn't. Away, I shouted. Craig Cathcart stepped in, header, and it was a brilliant clearance, whatever. But I'm thinking, after that happened, I thought, I wonder if anybody would have thought, could the goalie come there? But then I thought, if I would have come, I don't know if Craig would have heard me. Yeah. Would I have got in his way? He wouldn't have been able to clear it. There's players down there. Neil Maupay is like a little rat. He's waiting for the ball just to drop. Yeah. And I thought, no matter what happens there, that was a good decision because it got cleared. Do you know what I mean?
That's why you're doing what you're doing now, because you're self-analysing.
Yeah.
And even though you didn't go, you still want to know, I wonder if, you know, it's like when I used to be playing, straight away I'd get home and I'd have the game video.
Yeah.
And it was on tape back then.
I thought you were going to say it was on DVD back
then. And I would watch the game, right? And then I'd fast forward it till the ball went near me, and then I'd watch it. And then if I didn't like go for a cross or whatever, or if something had happened, I'd always go and I'd always say to myself, could I have done anything different?
Yeah, nice.
And that's what you're doing. You're self-analysing. You've got to.
Yeah.
But you've got to appreciate a great decision isn't always a great save.
Yeah, true. I love that. This is why you are going into Arsenal then. This is surely exactly why you're going into... These little nuggets here, Dave, honestly, they are worth their weight in gold. I think any young kid, any goalkeepers, like senior goalkeepers know what... Listen to these little bits of advice. They do. They're invaluable.
It's interesting though, Ben, because we had Neil Cutler and Boaz Myhill on, and when Ben started to put the GoPro in the goal... you didn't know this, did you? But Neil Cutler said he shows the academy goalkeepers Ben's footage because of the communication. Yeah. And actually, he was saying when you start showing these kids that, they see what an influence you can have on a whole team just by talking effectively. Yeah. And that's as much as a conscious decision as not talking, you know, and letting them know play someone's come in or whether to clear your lines or not, isn't it? It's amazing. Yeah. Just quickly, before we move on, with the current Arsenal team, when we had Rambo in and we were talking about their kind of rising stars, like Rambo left and we kind of all came to the same conclusion of Arsenal they're onto something here. They're building something. Yeah. What's your expectation and hopes for this current squad?
Expectation, I would say getting back into Europe.
Yep.
Because we're at that stage now where we're in a bad position because we're not in Europe and we're finding it hard to attract players, like the top players.
Is that a genuine thing, is it?
I think so, yeah. You know, because, you know, if a player's got a choice of going to whatever club, right, and then all the clubs are in Europe apart from Arsenal, then, you know, I know that a lot of the foreign lads love European games.
Champions League especially.
Here's a little thing for you. When we were start the season, Arsene Wenger would come round and he'd give us all a piece of paper and be in the training at the training ground, and he'd say, right, write in order what you would like to win the most, right? Say this to us, and like all the English lads, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, all the foreign lads, Champions League, Premier League,
top Champions League first, really
interesting.
Wow, yeah.
So they have a different view on it. You know,
why do you think that was?
I don't know. I just don't. We didn't get it. We were like, no, because the Champions League, you're only playing so many games. You know, the Premier League is a true gauge of
battle of attrition,
how good
isn't
you
it?
are.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't see it like that. They always said Champions League. You know,
like nowadays, if fair enough if you're Man City and you win the league every other year anyway.
Yeah.
You might you would want to win the Champions League. It's understandable.
Yeah.
But I would say virtually every other team, their main priority would be to win the Premier League. Surely.
Yeah.
It would be surely,
I know.
as an Englishman anyway.
Yeah.
To win your league in the country that you were born in, you played in, that I can understand it a little bit,
Yeah.
but that would take priority for me all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I
But
love
having
that.
said that, so then I'm talking about people like Patrick Vieira, Petit,
yeah.
and Nelka, all them lads, who in '98, we did the double in '98, and then they're going win the blooming World Cup in the same year as
Yeah,
well,
they
don't
did. I remember
They
that
did.
one as
You know,
well.
so that's like, it's the only one we ain't got.
I remember going. I flew out to Marseille the day after they won the World Cup final.
Yeah.
It was chaos.
Some team though, that weren't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Out of the names you just mentioned there, best player you played with out of the lot. I'm talking invincibles,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
here, Dave.
Yeah.
and England.
No.
Well, because people ask me to do my best team, and I go like Arsenal and then England because I find it real hard to mix. But no, best one that I ever played with, I would say Thierry Henry.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, because I get on my podcast and I say to people, especially when they're Arsenal fans, and I go, right, you've got one choice, Henry or Bergkamp.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh God, And I always
Such different
said,
players, though,
I know
aren't they?
they are different players, but I always said that I always choose Thierry. Same with Ronaldo or Messi. I always go Ronaldo. I just feel that Thierry could influence the game in different areas and then finish.
Yeah.
Whereas
He's a
Dennis
freak,
Dennis
wasn't he?
was always around the box, and
It's just beautiful though, Werner Bergkamp. Oh my gosh, we did him right a couple months ago now. He said Bergkamp, didn't he? He said Bergkamp.
He didn't play with Thierry, did he?
No, I don't know if he did.
Don't think
Actually,
he did.
maybe towards the end, maybe.
No, it was an Alker he crossed
Oh,
with.
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
But he says the reason why though, he says the connection I had. He said me and Dennis. He says it's like he knew me and I knew him. And he said, and he actually said he's the only player that would tell me to do something, and I would go, yes, okay, Dennis. Okay, Dennis.
Yeah,
he said
that
everybody
does
else.
surprise me.
Yeah, he said everybody else. I was just like, yeah, whatever, do one. I'm
no,
much better
yeah.
than you. Like. He said, but Dennis was the only one who would go, maybe try and make this run, and he would go, okay, thanks, Dennis. Thanks.
He said when they started, they didn't quite gel, and
Yeah.
Dennis pulled him and said, hold your run a tiny bit.
Oh,
And
wow.
he said, and he then realised, he said, I realised it was me, not him, because
Yeah.
he thought Dennis was too late in playing the pass. And it was like, do you know what?
Yeah.
That's amazing insight.
It's
No,
so
but that's
good.
what we're saying in it. Them little bits.
Yeah.
Little bits, like with even with strikers. And right, he was scoring goals for fun.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he gets a little bit of advice and it clicks.
Yeah.
He also said that he used to talk about goal scoring with you.
Yeah.
So as a striker versus goalkeeper, and his mentality was always, if I can score in training past David Seaman,
Yeah.
I can score against
That's
anybody.
lovely, that, honestly. As he was
No, he
saying
did.
that, right, I was glowing. And, he's not even talking about me. And he was saying, if I can score past David Seaman in training,
Yeah.
I know whoever that goalie is on Saturday, he's not as good as
But he's
David
saying
Seaman.
if I can get his angle, the angles and everything
Yeah.
else. Is that something you did a lot over your career, chatting with strikers about giving them tips?
Yeah, and I still do it now. Like even excuse me, even with the young lads at Arsenal. I say, sometimes I'll say to them, because for me, especially with the strikers, they always seem so intent and they concentrate so much on putting it, like bending it perfectly around you and stuff like that. And I say to them, sometimes when you try and do it as perfectly as you want, we can read you.
Yeah, it's true.
And I say sometimes
This is the one.
And I said, sometimes it's all about your contact.
Yeah.
And I said, just strike the ball. Because if you don't know where it's going, how are we going to know?
Exactly.
That was Alan Shearer, wasn't it, to a T?
Yeah.
Was it?
There's loads of them,
Pick
mate.
a kind of area
Yeah.
and absolutely murder the
Jermaine
life out of it.
Defoe,
Yeah.
even Harry Kane to an extent sometimes. Jamie Vardy, get it out of the feet, larrup
Bang.
it as
Yeah.
quick as you can, because you can't read that, can you?
No.
You can't read that. But like I say, if you're concentrating so much on your body position, opening up because you're trying to put it in the fire, it's like doddle to read.
Yeah,
That is, isn't
I know.
it?
Yeah.
It's a doddle to read.
Yeah.
But this is where I think professional football clubs, proper ones, are missing a trick again, because you can have you'll have striker coaches, you'll have try and do this, Get a goalie coach to do that as well.
Yeah.
A goalie coach can do that.
Yeah.
We're the ones that have to face them. We're the ones that see that.
Yeah.
The little bits, like you say there, the little glances, the tiny little things that we have to calculate in split seconds.
Yeah.
But it's enough to give you the edge to go, well, I know he's putting it there because it's the only place he can put it.
The example, Ben, is when you saved Aubameyang's penalty this year, and you said you did your homework, but you said his run was straight.
Yeah.
So he can't open
his run. His run was aggressive, so he ran up harder than what he normally did. So when he's putting it into the far corner, he has to sort of come to the side and open up a bit. But when you're sprinting, you can't open up because you're going to pull a groin or something.
Yeah.
So he ran up all tight and all closed up. The only place he's going to put it is from the centre to my right. That's the only place he can put it, and he did. He just wellied it over there. But this
was that that game?
Was he there? Yeah. God, yeah. We won't talk about that. Never mind, Dave. Anyway, but this is what I'm saying. I think these are the little bits, that if you can go around some of these top strikers at Arsenal, all these top players, Martinelli, he must be a sponge. Yeah. If David Seaman is trying to explain to him, no, try and just do this. Oh my gosh, you have some player on your hands.
No, and it's just like you say, it's little bits, but. Like what you said about the goalies advising them, I'm sure they need to take some advice on shooting drills as well from us, the coaches.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they just put it on, they just lay it off.
Horrible.
Slow as
take
anything.
The time.
And then they welly it at you and everything. And I used to go mad.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would walk in.
Really?
Like, this is shit.
It's not real.
I'd be off.
Yeah.
I'm like, make it realistic.
It's true though, because it makes you better. Because you know that they're doing it properly. When they get the ball played to them, they take a touch, they look up, they look down, they look up, pick a corner. It honestly, as a goalie, it is nothing worse. It like I say, it pisses you off.
What about
do
well, I don't know whether you could say, but like when I used to be coaching, and sometimes Bob would like do dead balls. Like the lads would like hit it from a dead ball.
Yeah,
and I'd be like, don't do that.
Never
just
happens.
move it.
Exactly.
That never happens.
It never happens. Like even like with goalkeeper coaching and training and stuff like that, right? You'll do volleys, you'll do half volleys, right? But that don't happen in a game. You very rarely get a volley. You even rarer get a half volley. It's off the deck of a moving ball. Yeah. So out your feet, bang. But it needs to be out your feet, bang. Not out your feet, look, put it in a corner. Because that don't work, does it? No. It just annoys you as a goalie. It really does annoy you. Yeah, I'm with you though, mate. Well, I think the goalies are the proper one. The goalies, like, we've got so many more ideas, but I swear to you, coaches, outfield, they just think we're dickheads, basically. Yeah. They do. They just think we're dickheads.
Out the goalies.
Yeah, just take the piss out of the goalies.
Wow, I feel strong.
We're the clever ones, Dave.
Exactly.
We're the clever ones,
Can we talk about the current England goalkeeper situation?
Yeah.
So what's your I know you spoke about it with Martin Keown on your own podcast, and we'll put a link down below in the description for that. Nice. If you were to pick your goalkeeping squad now for the World Cup,
when's the World Cup, by the way?
November.
10-11 months
now.
Yeah,
so both of you, based on form right now, who's your three?
We've got to let the guest go first, and then I can jump on the back, or
I'll go. So we've got, obviously Jordan's going to be number one.
Yep.
Because although his form for Everton's been up and down, it's not been consistent. He's still never let England down. Every time he's been
brilliant, hasn't
he? Aaron's really pushing now. And then you look at people like Nick Pope.
Yeah, Sam Johnson, Dean
Henderson. Henderson needs to play.
Yeah,
he's got to go and play somewhere.
I know,
because he'll get left behind.
I know he will. Yeah,
he'll start going down the pecking order if he doesn't start. I
saw him in where were we? I can't remember. We were on holiday in the summer with the family, and he was staying at the same hotel. And he walked home. We were just having a chat for 5 or 10 minutes, and it was before he'd actually signed his new contract at Man United. He was literally on the verge of signing, and I was like, mate, listen, like, it's brilliant, and I know it's life-changing and all that kind of stuff, but you need to have something in there where you're going to go and play. Yeah. And he was like, I think I might play next year. And I was like, mate, it sounds bad, but David De Gea is not going to be dropped, mate. He's not. He's on 350 grand a week, yeah? They have to justify that 350 grand a week. It might hurt to hear it, but he's going to play. Do you know what I mean?
He's going to get that extra chance as well. Although he had a bit of a rocky start, he's playing really well.
He's been brilliant, hasn't he?
So it'd definitely be Jordan. And then I got Aaron close. And then do you go experience with Pope, or do you go with Sam Johnson?
I think he likes Sam Johnston. Yeah, because he's played him a few times, hasn't he? He's done really well as well. To be fair.
The only question mark I put at the side of that is he's playing in the Championship.
Yeah, sure.
So that's the level. Yeah. Premier League's a level. Yeah. International's a level. Yeah. World Cups,
different level.
Pressure-wise,
it's a pressure-wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the beauty. I'm with you, by the way. I completely agree with everything you said. I think the reason why Jordan will be number one is because he's just done it at Euros.
Yeah.
He has just done it at Euro tournaments, major tournament, and it was like he would just. I've got to say one thing about Jordan Pickford. It doesn't ever seem to faze him in an England shirt, does it?
No.
Never seems to faze him. Never. For you, was there a difference between playing for Arsenal and England?
There is, but the gap was less because
Really?
we were playing at the, we
Top.
were always like trying to win stuff, so it wasn't as much as a jump, but if you're like in a team that was like middle of the table, and you're not got these
jump,
big
that,
games,
yeah.
like these and it's so it was a difference, but not it's
Not
only
massively.
pressure wise,
Yeah.
it's all only in here,
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
because you go out there and do your stuff.
True.
And if you can,
yeah,
and if you can do it under pressure,
you're smashing it.
yeah,
You can't. You're
you
smashing
know,
it,
once
yeah.
it happens,
Yeah. I had Gary Neville say to me once when I was at Man United, he said, and I was with the England team stuff, he said, Fozzie, he says, listen, if you can play for Man United, you can play for England. It's an absolute doddle. The problem was I couldn't play for Man United. So England wasn't a doddle.
yeah, but did you get a proper run at it? It's
Yeah, it is what it is.
you need
It
to,
is what it is, yeah.
And do you know what? And another thing as well, and I had Peter Schmeichel on the podcast. And he said something about, we were saying about having a good number two.
Yeah.
Somebody that was really, and he was like, no, I didn't like that.
Really?
He says, I never wanted that. I didn't want the added pressure of knowing that if I made a mistake, he might come in.
Yeah, that's an interesting
I
point.
was like, wow.
That's a you'd see Peter Schmeichel and you'd think he's there's nothing that could ever get in his head or worry him or doubt him or anything.
Yeah.
That's what the perception is, isn't it?
Yeah, because we asked about having two good number twos at Arsenal in Aaron and Lino.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I didn't like that situation.
Is that because he was just alpha male? Have you got to be an element of alpha male to be like a real number one for many years?
I don't know what to think now,
Yeah.
Dave. I don't know what to
No.
think because that has absolutely thrown me.
Yeah.
The fact that Peter Schmeichel would say that
Yeah.
really surprises me because it's Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah.
He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. That's really thrown me, Dave. Because
that's why I'd never forget it. When I was like, whoa, really? Because I was like, and then when I thought back to my career, I was thinking, well, I have people like Richard Wright came to Arsenal for big money.
He was big
Yeah.
money, wasn't he?
There was
Yeah,
Alex
the next big
Menninger
thing.
pushing me.
Alex Menninger, yeah. He got Player of the Month once, Alex Menninger.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
incredibly
Yeah.
athletic, wasn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Like,
The only problem with Alex was that if he made a mistake,
It would affect him,
he was gone.
really.
wow.
He used to do it in training.
And it would, even in training.
Or
he'd
in
go,
training,
wow,
we'd be like, he'd let one in, we'd be like, oh, watch out.
don't be on his team in
Steve's
this
going to be
exercise.
coming out soon, yeah.
Yeah, you do see you do get a weird bunch of goalies in training and
Yeah.
stuff. You tend to find it with the younger ones that if like they make a mistake or something, it's the swearing. It's like they need to they need to show everybody that I never make mistakes like this. We all do, honestly.
Yeah. But
We all do.
that's one of the biggest parts of goalkeeping
Yeah.
is how you react after you've made that mistake.
Yeah,
And if you can still play your game after that.
you just got to be calm. It is what it
Yeah.
is. You can't I know it's something that comes very easily when you're in your 30s and whatever. But I try and say to young kids, don't do that because the manager's just looked over. He's doing the outfield players. He's just looked over and seen that you're in goal and you're effing and jeffing.
Yeah.
What do you think impression that leaves?
Say what it is, Foz. This is kind of going off on a random tangent here, but we had the pleasure of having Dynamo the Magician in for a chat.
Yeah.
So just casual kind of chit chat in the office yesterday, and he just made a good point, didn't he? And said, "You can't control it, so just like let it go.
Yeah.
It's happened.
Yeah.
It's done. Like with any mistakes, and you just get on. It's like just go. It's done. We focus. On you go.
Yeah.
It's because it's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say to the young lads, I say, look, if you've made a mistake, they'll say, how did you react and how did you deal with making a mistake? And I always say, well, the next time I got the ball, even if it was like a little throw out or whatever, I'd make sure it was done perfectly. I wouldn't start trying to be flash.
Yeah.
Start trying to ping a ball out to somebody like 60 yards out.
Back to basics.
Build bit by bit.
Yeah.
Like your goal kick, your next goal kick. Just get a nice strike on it. Don't start trying to like launch it.
Yeah.
Don't start thinking I've got to come for a cross.
So like doing the good things well. The
Yeah.
simple things well. Sorry.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Right, before we go any further, we haven't talked about and I know we wanted to get into this one, we can't go any further in the podcast without talking about the save.
Oh, yes. I'm
So,
so
Fozzie, wind you up. Off you go.
Right, so Dave, okay, so this save, we know the save we're talking about. It's the FA Cup semi-final at Old Trafford against Sheffield United, Paul Pesci-Salido. It's the sort of cut-back cross, and he's sort of wheeling away, headed it back across you. And
it's in.
It's still, without doubt, the best save you will see on TV. Agree? Please agree with me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It is.
I'll agree with you.
You've got to agree, because it is. There's no, you won't see a better save on TV, yeah? Because this, but I want to break it down, Dave, okay?
Yeah.
I want to break it down from a technical perspective. I want to break it down from what you can remember and what because I guarantee you know what you were thinking the very split second you're making the save, and you're in the process of making it. So explain it, please, from your point of view.
It came from a corner. So the first ball in was a corner, and as that comes in, it goes back. So straight away you've gone one way, and then you check yourself, and then you, because you're
shifting body weight.
Yeah, shifting your body weight. The ball's not coming. It's not a shot on goal or a header. It's gone back across. So then you're ready for that.
Yeah.
Set, half set, ready for that. Then it gets knocked back across to Paul, who was only 2 or 3 yards out.
Yeah.
And because I've followed the ball, I'm out just off my line a little bit, as I would have been if somebody had tried, a shot on target or a header. And then I've seen him, and it was weird because he got like a header half shoulder on it.
It was, yeah.
But I remember looking across and thinking, oh, I've got to dive backwards, and then you know how fast your mind reacts in, as we're saying it.
Do you know your hand you're open already, so your hand hasn't fully come from a closed sort of like there. It's a little bit like that because you're turning out and opening anyway. Your arm's there, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's out, and then I realised that I can't just go and push it because I'm diving back into the goal.
It's going to go into the goal.
It's going to go in the goal, and I'm not going to get it around the post.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided to hook it, and then claw it out.
Oh, mate.
Do you know what though? So I made that save, right, and then the ball goes down. And have you seen the rebound?
All I remember is Paul Pesca-Salido trying to bite it.
Yeah.
So you've got it, and he's going.
They're trying to knock you over. But Phil Jagielka's coming in, right?
Is it Jags? Is it?
Yeah. The rebound is quite an easy rebound, if I'm honest, and he smashes it over the bar.
But I watched it this morning a few times. Me and young Jamie were watching it a few times. But you were up quick at it, weren't you? And then you kind of just jumped and no, we're good.
But then it makes me laugh every time I watch it, and it's like I look at my face and I'm thinking, how can you be that cool after making that save?
I know.
Do you know what surprised me the most? One of your teammates came up to you and gave you a pat on the shoulder.
Just the one.
Ash came up, didn't he?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
But
and even the commentator was like,
it's like it's a decent save. That's about it.
I know. And then because obviously it's Sheffield United, isn't it? So I'm from Rotherham. A load of my mates are Sheffield United fans. So they were all texting me and everything, and they were like, "Oh my god, we thought it was in, we were up and everything," because it was at their end.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's one of them things, you just react naturally
when you're in the
all
moment,
that training.
when you're sharp, when it's like it all just came together for that one save.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, I think the biggest lesson I think any young goalie or any goalie out there can learn is to not give anything up. Because the only reason why you saved it is because you didn't just sort of turn and hope that the defender's going to clear it or whatever, or think, well, he's 3 yards out, he can't miss, he's just going to. You've still gone for it. You've turned, your body's open, your arm's out, and you've just gone. Yeah. And you've committed to it.
I look at the photos, Ben, and I'm like, and I know I'm like full stretch. Yeah. My left foot is the only foot on the ground, and I'm absolutely full stretch. Yeah. And I was 39 when I made that save.
No, you were not.
Yeah. So that's why it makes it even more special for me, because you
still got it.
People, you're too old, and this, that, and the other, and
you've still got it, Dave. Mate, that fills me with so much hope. Honestly, it fills me with so much hope. Seriously.
Couple of months, Ben, you'll be there, won't you? 39.
But honestly, Dave, I'm very competitive, right? And this one something I want to ask you, because we spoke with Aaron about it, and he's the opposite to me. He's not competitive. He is very much like, whatever kind of thing. It's fine. Now and then he says, if I want to do, it's a big thing for me. Like anything, handling drill, whatever. He said, if I want to do it, it's a big thing. But majority of the time, he's fine. How did you drive yourself to just keep doing the same thing day in, day out? Are you a competitive person?
Yeah, I am. You know,
In your own head?
In my own head, but more with myself.
Yeah.
You know, I want to try and, whenever I do anything, I want to see how good I can get at it. You know, even in my career, you know, I knew that when I was at QPR, I knew that they were happier just staying in the league. Yeah. And I had a chance of going and bettering myself, and that's what I wanted to do. You know, that's why I let my contract run down. In the end, QPR got like 1.3 for me. Okay. You know, so but I could have let that run out. Then.
So how old were you when you left QPR then? So that
26, I think.
Okay,
I was.
Okay.
Yeah. But I got a chance of going to Man United.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I spoke to Fergie, right?
Is that just before Schmeichel?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I spoke to...
Imagine this, by the way. No. Come on, I've got to hear this.
I was walking my dog around a lake, and I was looking for fish. By the way, there's a nice river out there. Spotted that already. And I was walking around the lake, and then my phone rang, and it was Brian Robson. And he went, "I've got somebody who wants to speak to you." I was like, "Who's the gaffer?" I was like, "What?"
Wow.
And it was Alex Ferguson, and he said to me, "Look, I'm going to come in for you in the summer." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Shit, I'm going to Man United.
Thank you.
Could be good at Man United." That same day, Arsenal made a bid.
No way.
Yeah.
So in the same day, you've got Man U and Arsenal.
Yeah. So then, you know, and they'd made the bid, and QPR said, "Look, you've got to go and talk terms with Arsenal."
And that was George Graham at the time.
Yeah.
So George Graham and Sir Alex.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Is that an easy decision? Go on, carry on.
So then it falls through. You know, like I said earlier, it fell through because Lukey didn't want to go.
Yeah.
So I have to go back to QPR and finish the last month or so at the club. You know, and I'm now in this position where I've got a choice. And Ray Wilkins was at QPR then, God bless him. Yeah. And I said to him, I said, what do I do, mate? I said, "Have you got any advice?" And he said to me, "If you go Man United," he said, you won't win trophies straight away." He said, "But you will later because they're a massive club." Yeah. He said, "If you go to Arsenal now, you'll win trophies straight away."
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was what swung it, do you think?
And that's what, yeah.
Really?
And I'd also lived in London for 4 years as well.
Of course, yeah.
So my family was settled. You know, and it was an easier move.
That
even though I'm a northerner, you know, Rotherham's still up.
When you're settled, yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, what could have been?
Yeah.
What could have? I heard Martin Keown telling a very similar story, didn't he? He said that he actually went up there to Man United. He met Sir Alex Ferguson. He met a couple of the players and stuff. Yeah. And he said he walked him around. He said, "But I just didn't get the right vibe." Yeah. It was literally that. I didn't get the right vibe, so I went to Arsenal. Incredible.
That's
incredible.
Absolutely incredible. Can we talk about England then? So I've got kind of one kind of line written down on like the running order here, and it is ridiculous longevity. Like your first cap in 1988, and your last cap in 2002.
75, you know, 75 England caps.
Times. Yeah,
that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I think like 73. I think it's 73 of them starts.
Really?
Yeah.
For 14 years.
No.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's sorry.
So my debut for England, we're playing away at Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Right, friendly.
Yeah.
We fly out. This is remember my debut for England. We fly out on Concorde.
Oh, wow. I remember Concorde.
Right.
Can we just explain what Concorde is, David? I feel like I just need to explain to the younger viewers what Concorde used to be a really fast plane, okay, right? It was like double the speed basically of what like a normal like Boeing would be, kind of thing.
Weren't it? It was like the fastest thing that could get you to America and back. And it was a very special aeroplane. And you know, so we flew out on Concorde. I start, and so by the fact that I'm making my debut and I'm starting, means that we get, so there was about 4 of us that made our debuts and started. We all got XR3Is as a sponsored car.
You are joking.
Through a deal with England. So Concorde and XR3i.
My brother used to have an XR3i. They were the bad boy brothers. Ford XR. If you had one of them back in the day, you were the man. Honestly,
I bet you were like, I've hit the big time.
That's it. And I was like, wow, you know, this is ace. But you know, and then it was just so good. So that was 88, sorry. Then I'm in the World Cup squad.
Wow.
For Italian 90,
yeah.
But I broke my thumb in training. And so I had to go home halfway through it. Yeah.
Italian 90, Shilton, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's Chilts, Woods, And then Dave Besant took my place.
Was it? Yeah, blimey, no.
Wow.
I remember that Italian 90. Because
Yeah,
I was
same.
7 years old at the time, but I remember like that was my first proper one. Like I say, I used to have it on tape, VHS, and I would watch it all the time. Toto Scalacci, all those kind of guys, like world class. It's brilliant.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I remember
Roger
about
Miller,
that.
Roger Miller.
Yeah,
Roger Miller, yeah.
He was about 45, wasn't he? At the time?
yeah.
I think Peter Shilton was
that
about 50.
legal?
Wasn't he?
He got the same passport as Canoe.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
That's absolutely incredible. So Bobby Robson,
Yeah.
you played what? Bobby Robson, Terry Venables, Glenn
Terry,
Hoddle.
yeah. Terry was brilliant. You know, Terry was, as much as I love Bobby, you know, I didn't play that many games under him. But Terry, as soon as Terry came in, he went, "You're my number one."
Really, that's a nice feeling.
Yeah, because it was Bobby then it was Graham Taylor.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and Graham left me out of the squad.
92,
for
wasn't
92.
it? Didn't
For what
qualify.
reason?
He took Chris Woods and Nigel Martin.
What did he ever tell you why?
No, he didn't. No. And the most embarrassing thing about it was that we're in our rooms waiting to find out the squad, right? They said, if you don't get a call, you're in the squad. So me and Dicko were sharing rooms. Dicko had injured his knee, so he knew he wasn't going.
Yeah.
So we're waiting.
Who's Dicko?
Lee Dixon, sorry.
Of course.
Yeah. And no call. Well, oh, fucking hell, must be in the squad then. Go to the meeting room, right? As I walk in, I look, Woodsy, Nigel Martin.
No.
And I walk in, sit down. Laurie McMenemy goes to me. He went, David, can I have a word with you?
Oh, that's
No.
horrible.
Oh, mate, my heart just went poof.
That's horrible way of doing it.
devastated,
Yeah.
and I went back to my room, and he told me, and I went, right. I was like, leave me alone now.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, but Pete wants. I went, no, I don't want anybody. I was like, I was mad. I was disappointed I weren't in the squad, but I was so mad at the way I'd been treated.
The way it's done is in front of everybody, because when you're pulled away by the assistant manager or whatever, everybody knows what's happening. Yeah. Everybody knows what's and that's horrible. That
you know, I was in there, and then I was out.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then when Graham left, Terry came in and went, "You're my number one." And
Brilliant.
It was the best thing.
But then we didn't qualify for American 94.
I think that was Graham.
Yeah, and then on to Terry into Euro 96.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, American '94. Remember that Ireland? Ireland went there, didn't they?
Yeah. But Graham put me in, so I hadn't played for England for ages. And then he put me in the last two games, which was Holland away.
Nice. Cheers.
Upbeat. Cool.
Cheers.
Flipped it over the wall. And they're like, I was going to flip it. And I was like, any chance of telling me? And put it over the wall. Got beat 2-1 or 2-0. That's when Koeman should have got sent off before he scored, but he pulled Gary Lineker out. And then my last game was San Marino away.
Oh, blooming! I touched it once or twice, kind of thing.
No,
was it the one? That was the 10-second goal.
8.
Yeah.
8-second goal. Yeah. I was watching that. I was at my auntie's house.
When Righty scored about 40
4
If Holland lost their game, we needed to win by about 7 clear goals. After 8 seconds, we're 1-0
down.
Piercy left me short on a back pass.
Yeah. I remember. Good day for that guy. Whoever he was, like a builder or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, but when I did Harry's Heroes, they actually played San Marino.
Nice.
San Marino, and he played in the game.
Did he really? Yeah.
I broke my finger, so I only played. So I said, look, I'm not playing because I want to play against Germany.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but it's all about the San Marino. I was like, okay. I went, I'll play for about 2 minutes. They're like, all right. So I'm in goal. We kick off. I'm going 1, 2.
Yeah, no, please, he's killing.
And then it went. You know, they got nowhere near. So
Is this the one you was telling me about earlier with the fishing trip?
No, it's another one.
I can't stop looking at his hands still. By the way, look at these, mate.
Unbelievable.
They are.
How'd you tie your
the knots and everything? With glasses. That's how.
Can you remember what size gloves you were back in the day?
I used to be. It'd be about a 10.
Nah, that's not. And they changed sizes.
Yeah,
then. They
but
must
I
have
had
done.
it. But I like tight gloves.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wear an 11 now, but I like them
Right.
big and like bit baggy kind of thing.
Do you?
But I still think you'd struggle to get them in my gloves.
Well, I get
for sure.
I get stuff off Adidas.
Yeah.
And they send me them, the ones with all the pimples.
Like
on them.
marigolds, like the ones that you pull on and all that kind of stuff. Weird,
Like
aren't
no
they?
strap. It's
Yeah,
like, what's
so
all that
weird.
about?
I know, they're so weird. There's no. I need that feeling.
Yeah.
Of that, it's like I'm good to go now.
know.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it so is.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
interesting.
I used to love them tight.
Yeah.
But they used to make like whatever I wanted.
To the exact size, everything. Yeah,
and,
of course. Yeah.
You know, then it wasn't until like later on I started having the roll fingers.
Yeah.
You know, because with a flat palm, it sometimes used to
flat
move
palm.
a bit, didn't
yeah,
it?
it does. Switches over the
Yeah.
side, doesn't it? And then
Yeah.
if you've got like just a fabric material there, no contact on the ball, it's horrible.
Used to wear a brand new pair every game and all.
Did you?
Yeah. Because in my
Regardless, every game,
head,
a new pair.
and sometimes, Ben, I would go in from the warm up. I'd go in and look at my glove, and if I got a little scuff on it,
Really?
I'd be like, new pair.
Out the pack.
Yeah.
You would wear a brand new pair
Yeah.
out the pack.
Yeah, because in my head, I'd be thinking, if I'm full stretch and it hits that scuffed bit on my glove, it might not be as good as... It's all about getting this sorted.
That's why you played for England for 14 years.
I guarantee you that the majority of people at home will be listening to this thinking, they're weirdos. Them goalies are just weirdos. But I know for a fact how that goes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I need to... So when I will have to wear my gloves for 3 or 4 days in training before.
Yeah.
3 or 4 sessions at least before. And I'll happily wear them for 2 or 3 games.
But what about if you get a scuff on
No, I can't wear I'm the opposite. I can't wear a new pair because I think it's got all like the chemicals in it and stuff. So do you know, like when they come from the latex like factories,
And you have to peel that stuff?
Yeah,
Oh.
well, the Adidas ones, mine don't do that, but they're lovely. But I know that's a
I know what
chemical
you mean.
smell,
Yeah.
and I don't want to have those chemicals on my gloves still. Do you know what I mean? It's
Especially
so
when it's
weird.
wet, because it's... Do you remember when they used to do that? What is the multi-ball thing?
Yeah,
Multi-ball
yeah,
system,
yeah.
That used to be murdered.
Yeah, of
didn't it? 'Cause
course. They're
you
all
get a
new
brand
balls.
new ball and it'd be
Oh.
like a bar of soap.
New balls are the worst, aren't they? Like some of the ones back in the day, some of the Adidas balls back in the day, like they used to, you remember the Jabulani and ones like that? Oh my gosh, they're just made to make goalkeepers look like a plonker, aren't they?
Yeah.
Horrible balls. Horrible.
We are geeking out there on this is brilliant. England, favourite manager when you were with England?
Terry.
Do you think if I reckon I've got this theory that if a Terry Venables or Harry Radnat managed that golden generation, I think they'd have won a tournament.
Yeah.
I think they needed someone just to be a leader of men.
Well, Terry had set it all up, hadn't he? With what we did in Euro '96.
Yeah.
You know, he did that just through being Terry. You know, he's a great man manager. He would make you feel brilliant going into a game. You know, and he'd be in the dressing room, and you can imagine, you know, he was like shouting, and come on, do it for England, do it for the badge.
Yeah, that's nicer.
From Terry Venables, all day long.
Really.
Then comes Sven.
Yeah, he's
And it
chalk
was
and cheese.
totally different.
Yeah, he was my first England manager, Sven.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, you know, this is weird.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd seen a lot of different managers doing it. You know, Glenn Hoddle was really good as well. You know, and tactically he was brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, but in Glenn and Terry, we lost 2 great managers through nothing to do with football, really.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Sven was he's very quiet, very he was almost shy, wasn't he? He was like he wouldn't get shouting or anything like that, and that's, don't get me wrong, for me, what I want to imagine is somebody to just make me feel $1 million, put their arm around me. Gonna need you to save us again today. That's what I want.
Especially on an England camp, surely, because like you said before, when you go away with England, you're there, like tactically as a player, and surely with England, it's about when you're in a camp, morale and making people feel good.
Make them feel good to go out there. You know, that's what you want. You want players in their minds perfect.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want them thinking about something or whether they've not played good the game before, or you want to try and build them up as good as you can get them.
Yeah.
So they go and perform out there.
Wow.
Yes,
and who was your? So we've done Arsenal. Best player you played with England.
Yeah, Gaza, really.
Gaza all day long.
Go
Honestly,
on, describe him.
Because describe him. We need to put some more tape in the machines.
More tape in the machine. Like the VHS again, isn't it?
No, Gaza was Gaza. He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a crackpot, but when you know the real Gaza, he's got a heart of gold.
Really,
he really has,
Yeah.
and he'll do anything for you. He loves to be liked.
Yeah.
And if you don't like him, he really affects him.
Really.
Yeah, you know. But what a player! You know, like we'd be doing crossing and shooting and stuff with England. This is, and they come in. You know, they whip it across and they side foot it at you. Whatever. He'd be putting it in with his knee.
Wow.
You know, or sticking his hip out.
Yeah, and doing it off that.
And you're just like, how?
That's just pure timing, skill, everything all in one go, isn't it?
But then you watch him in an 8v8, you know, and you're watching him like hold players off, and you know, he'd be like back in the day. Then, you know, he said all I had to do was just put my hand in their face.
Yeah.
He said, but like not like push them, just that. And he says, and they just lose.
Yeah, disorientated.
Yeah.
When I think a lot of people, when you're talking about Gaza, they think he's just having a laugh all the time.
Yeah.
He's having a laugh, but there has to be an element of when he's training or when he's playing that he's got his serious head on. There has to be, doesn't there?
Whenever he's playing, he's proper serious.
He's on it.
He never messed about, as in taking the
Yeah.
He was always, because he loved football.
Yeah.
He just loved to be able to like take it past a player and pass the ball.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable.
Or put it in. He really was. And I did a show with Stuart Pearce, and they asked us, like who's the best. And Gaza was actually sat on the sofa, so and we were like, him.
Does everybody say that? Yeah, Gaza.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
So once you've played and trained with him, you know how good he is.
And what was he like so obviously when you go away with England, you can be together for weeks on end. What's he like round the camp?
Murder.
Really?
Because he was so hyper,
Yeah.
and he had to be doing, that's when he was the most mischievous.
Yeah.
He'd be doing all sorts, all the wind-ups and stuff, and like Terry would say to me, he'd be like, David, this is during Euro 96, he'd be like, David, take him fishing, he's getting hyper. I'd be like, I've got to babysit him again.
What was it about fishing then that must just calm him down?
Yeah, because he loved it as well, and he could. And he's a fly fisherman, so we used to go and fish for trout, and he could cast a good line as well.
Really, yeah.
And but he loved it. But this time we went, and I got my car there with my fishing gear in it because I used to live quite close to the hotel, so like they'd let me take my car. All my gear was in it, so as soon as we got an afternoon off, we'd like whoosh straight to the lake,
babysitting Gaza.
Yeah, and it was, it's. I've talked about it before, but we went fishing, and the press left us alone.
Yeah.
They were fine. They knew that me and him would go fishing, and then Ian Walker came with us.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in this boat in the middle of this lake, fishing away and that. And we spot this guy on the bank, and he's got all the gear on. He's fly fishing, and we're like, "Oh, look at him, guys! He looks like he knows what he's doing." Oh yeah. And then anyway, we carry on fishing. And next thing I went, "Where's that bloke gone?" And as we were like looking like this, he popped up from behind the bushes with this massive lens, starts taking photographs of us. Gaza's now, swearing, calling him all sorts, and he went row in. I've got to row in. I want to get the film out of that camera. So we start going in, and the guy realizes. He starts packing up and legging it to his car. So I phoned the fishery officer. I went close and lock the gate.
Keep him in.
There's a reporter in here, our photographer. We want to get the film off him. Anyway, we get in, he runs up to the car, Gaza, and he says, I want that film. And the bloke's going, no chance. And he just stood at this gate in his car because he couldn't get through it. It's a wooden 5-bar gate. Just sat there. Then Gaza just sees his phone inside the car, reaches in, nicks his phone. And the guy's like, and he's like, right, you can have this back when I get that film.
Give him the film.
Yeah. And the guy panicked. He put his window up, wouldn't speak to us. So Gaza starts letting his tyre down.
What a guy.
So he starts letting his tyre down. All you hear is like, tss. The guy panics. He just puts his foot down straight through the gate onto the main road and off. Gaza's got the phone. I went, press redial on that. And it went straight through to Piers Morgan.
Oh, you sneaky weasel.
Daily Mirror.
Oh,
Next
my
day,
God.
don't forget. So there was me, Gaza, and Ian Walker just before we played Spain. Next day on the front of the Mirror, and you can look it up, Gaza's Armada, Abel Seaman, and Walker the Plank.
No way. That's so bang out of order, isn't it? You're actually just like, you can't win. You literally can't win, can you?
Everybody knew we'd go fishing.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't leave us alone.
It's like they think when you're away with England, you have to just be 110% dedicated on football. That's all they think you should be doing. It's not the case. You've got to have a little bit of an escape, haven't you? Oh, that's horrible. That Walker the Plank. I like it. It's clever, but it's still.
I was going to say that's Abel Seaman. I like that. So what was your high point with England?
I'd say Euro 96.
Yeah.
Because it really put me on the map.
Yeah.
On that sort of level. It was just after what had been going on with Arsenal. We'd won the league, we won the cup double, then we won the Cup Winners' Cup, the European Cup Winners' Cup. Then it went quiet for a bit, and then I had the Naeem situation.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, Real Sociedad was it?
No, Zaragoza.
Zaragoza.
So I think that was 95, 5.
He used to play for Tottenham as well, didn't he? So I was a
And
Tottenham
he scored,
fan,
he scored in the last minute of extra time. You know, and I'm thinking, the semi-final before, I saved. We play Sampdoria, goes to penalties. I saved 3 penalties. Get us through. And then we get to the final.
And he does that in the last minute. It's horrible.
Did you play with... I read earlier on you played with cracked ribs.
In the final.
How's that work as a goalkeeper?
That's painful.
Oh, sorry, that was the year before.
That's murder, that is,
that was
isn't
in
it?
the final. And we won. And I remember Arsenal were playing away at QPR. Ball came over and it bounced and it was high and it was so obviously my ball. So I just go like that and little Clive Allen just run into me and dug his elbow in me.
Yeah.
Cracked 3 of my ribs. And this was I think it was about 10 days before the final. And it was, it's so painful, isn't it?
Horrible. Everything breathing, but you've got to dive around and stuff. God.
I had about 3 or 4 injections before the game. And then I had it all topped up at half time. It got through it,
you do though, don't you?
Made a save from Zola up here.
Love it.
That side as well, and it's made it all worthwhile.
Talk to me quickly just about that Naeem goal. That's a huge occasion, right? Yeah. That's a huge occasion. How do you deal with that afterwards?
It was tough, because it was like in the last minute of a cup final, a European Cup final, and it's an ex-Tottenham player.
Of course.
And it weren't like the end of the season. It was, you still got I think we still had a few games with Arsenal to go. So I'm not sure, but then I remember Tottenham, they brought out a fanzine called One Flew Over Seaman's Head, and all that, but it's what it is, And then I remember playing away at Tottenham, and all the fans were going, let's all do the Seaman, and flapping their arms and everything. And they did it a couple of times, and I thought, right. And then, so as I was running out at half time, I was running out to their end, and they're all doing it, and I was like, no, wait, because it was after we'd won the double, and I was like,
nice,
like that. I was like, wait, one more, another one.
I got 2 of them. It's fine.
Awesome.
This is brilliant.
But it's a big mistake, and it's like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
And it's hard, because naturally you want to go and show them, but then it's like what I said to you about when you make a mistake in goal.
Yeah.
You don't go chasing it.
Yeah.
So you just have to build it bit by bit, and then Terry made me his number 1.
Yeah.
So then that's
lifts you back up again.
Step.
Yeah.
Then Euro 96 happened.
Boom.
Yeah.
And that's when you become a national treasure. He is, though, isn't he? I was thinking that a minute ago. He is. David Seaman's like a national treasure, mate. He is. Everybody loves David Seaman. He's the man.
So with the mistakes, so you got lobbed from how many just outside his own box, wasn't it? Paul Robinson.
Oh yeah, that was. He was literally on the corner of his 18-yard box, and he's just leathered one.
Yeah.
Bounced on the edge of our box. Our big defender just went like that. I went, oh no.
But when that you and Paul Robinson, it was almost a battle of who was going to be starting for England the next week, wasn't it? So how did that mentally affect you going away with England?
Do you know what? Actually, it was okay, to be fair. Because Robbo was actually really good with it. He was after the game and stuff, he actually apologised. He was like, I'm really sorry. He was buzzing, don't get me wrong, he was buzzing his head off. But he was like, actually, I'm really sorry, mate. And then we went away with England. And when we went away with England, it was no longer a debate who was going to be.
But I bet you were going into that camp thinking, oh my God, they're going to take the right Mickey out of me. And,
yeah.
And it's all that mind stuff before you go. Yeah. Then you get there and they do it, and you're like,
it is what it is.
Is that all you've got?
Yeah, but it was like maybe you had half a day of it, or that night at dinner you meet up, you'll
or
have dinner.
Or in training, they all start shooting from miles away.
Yeah, save it, positive kind of thing. Yeah, but it is what it is.
Because 2002 World Cup quarter-final, you had Ronaldinho score, and I was watching it earlier on. Actually, watched it a few times, and the way he kind of hit the ball, it was a strange one. What was that like? Obviously,
that was worse because it's England.
Yeah.
So and then people still mention it to me now, and they say, "Oh, what about? No, did he mean it?" I said,
they still now?
Honestly, they still mention it now. And I went, well, it doesn't matter whether he meant it or not. It still went in from 30 to 40 yards.
Yeah.
I said, so that's a goalkeeping mistake. I know he didn't mean it.
Yeah.
I got told straight after from Gilberto, who played for Brazil, was an Arsenal player. And he came out and he went, he didn't mean it.
Wow.
But it didn't matter, because it still went in. Yeah. And I remember being on the pitch afterwards, and there was still like half an hour to go, and I'm in goal, and I'm thinking, what am I going to get treated like if it stays like this?
Tough, that isn't it?
Like, come on, lads, get me out of this. And then I was thinking, am I going to get treated like what Bex did when he did what when he
Simeone
got sent off in
kicked Simeone,
'98.
yeah.
Isn't that mad that that's like you're representing your country?
Yeah.
And,
And
that's
I'm
your thought
playing.
process. Yeah.
And the ball's down the other end, and I'm thinking that, and I'm getting like shivers.
It's horrible. You want the ball away from you, don't you?
Yeah.
If say that making a mistake in the first minute of the game is brutal, even 60th minute, you've still got half an hour to go, and you are honestly at that point. I can't. I've made mistakes before. I've never done it for England at that magnitude. When you are the established England's number one, Ronaldinho's just done that to you. With half an hour to go, you are spending every second of that last half an hour thinking, I don't want the ball here. I don't want it. Just keep it away from me. It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. And it came a few times, but luckily dealt with it. But then we didn't get another goal.
Yeah.
He got sent off. We'd still be like 25 minutes to go.
Really?
Yeah.
So they were down to 10 men.
Yeah, and still couldn't find a goal.
Yeah.
Amazing how the media's flipped though, isn't it? Because you look at the young lads in the last summer when they missed the penalties, and there does seem to have been a shift.
Oh, there's definitely been a
but
shift,
that's
hasn't
social
there?
media.
Yeah.
That's the easy access that people they think they can get to you.
Yeah.
Through that, and I tell kids now. I said, look, I'll use it for what it is.
Yeah.
I said, but don't think you're not going to get anybody having a go at you.
Yeah.
Because you do.
Yeah.
And if you can just go, oh, he's calling me that. Oh, next one. If you can do that easy, then use it.
I don't think many can though, Dave. Honestly, I don't.
No.
There's not many can do it, and they really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And I'll try and say some of our young lads, even if it's good, even if they're saying you're the best thing since sliced bread, doesn't go in. Just don't let it go in, because that guy's opinion, woman's opinion, doesn't really matter. No. It's the manager, it's your husband, wife, father, blah blah, all that kind of stuff. They're the people that matter, and that's the only people you should listen to. So if you have a wicked game, brilliant, be happy, but don't get too carried away. Same as if you have a bad one, don't you?
It got to the stage where with me, obviously it weren't the social media as it is now. It was the papers.
Yeah.
So I stopped reading the papers.
Really?
Because they were getting on at me about being too old, and then every little goal, every goal I'd made,
They'd dissect it.
They'd be dissecting it, trying to blame me and all that. And I just thought, and it's weird because I sat next to Helen Mirren, the actress, at a charity dinner.
Dame Helen Mirren, yeah.
She wasn't then, but she.
Yeah.
And we were chatting about media. She'd been getting a load of stick, and she says, "Oh yeah," she says that I hate them. And I was like, I'm the same. I says, I don't want to speak to them. I don't want to do anything with them. She was like, you need to be careful. She said, because if you don't speak to them, they'll write even more horrible stuff.
Really, yeah.
She says, what I do, she says, I'll speak to them, but I don't read what they write.
Okay. Play the game.
Yeah.
You just got to play the game.
And I just stopped reading the papers.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Really interesting.
I can't remember the last time I read a paper, actually.
Oh, no.
Honestly.
I know what you mean.
I don't think many people read papers anymore, do they?
They still do, yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, they still do.
No.
I'll tell you where I do get paper is when I'm on holiday.
I thought you were going to say on the bog.
Yeah.
What, to find out what's going on at home?
No, just to on a holiday. I don't know. It's like a process thing.
Yeah.
I like to have a little walk up and just go and get a paper.
Yeah.
But there you go. Right.
enough.
I just want to rewind back to when Mr. Wenger got appointed.
Yes.
So we spoke to Righty about this one. Bit of a culture shock, was it?
Massive. Huge culture shock.
How long have you been at Arsenal at this point?
So I was there. So he came in 96, didn't he?
You did.
So I've been there 6 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're
Yeah,
established,
so I'm-
well established, well part of the decor.
Well established. Got the back four in front of me.
Yeah.
Like B back four.
Yeah.
Very special one. And he came in, and honestly, we didn't know. And when you hear people say, "Oh, you all said Arsene who?" and we did. That's exactly what we're like. Arsene who? Who's that? And there was only like Glenn Hoddle had heard of him, and David Dean.
Wow.
He came in, he looked like a blooming school teacher.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Like,
Yeah.
What? But boy, did he change it. And he didn't do it by little bit by little bit. He went bang. He went, right, this is what you're going to eat. This is how we're going to train. This is how you're going to relax. This is how you're going to get massages. This is all the sports science, but everything just came straight in. But the wise thing he did is he brought in Vieira, Petit, Anelka, Remy Gard, Gilles Grimandi.
Yeah.
They were already on the diet.
Ah, okay. So they knew.
And
They
they
knew it
knew
already.
exactly. Yeah. And we were watching them, and because like there was a lot of English players in the Arsenal team.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
And we were like thinking, we were watching them eating their pre-match meal, and it was like a mound of food.
Really.
And the lads were like, are they going to run around? It's 3 hours before, which is normal, isn't it? Are they going to run around with all that food in them? And then they watched them, and they're like running around
engines
all the time, and they're like, and the lads start getting it. They start like doing exactly the same.
Yeah,
I swear it put at least 1 or 2 years on some of the lads' careers at Arsenal.
Yeah,
definitely.
And what about you as a goalkeeper?
Well, it's different for me because
He always says that, and that's why he has his bacon sandwich.
but he changed. Like Arsene came in, he changed like pre-match meal. Like he used to have like a fillet steak with a fried egg on top.
Brilliant.
Mine was like ham and cheese omelette with beans.
Brilliant.
And
there's nothing wrong with that.
I know,
That's
but then he changed it. But like for goalies, it's different because we do all our hard work in the week. That's when we get knackered.
Yeah.
We very rarely get knackered in a game.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have nothing to do.
The game's just in your head for a
Yeah.
goalie, isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
in your head. I got a theory of that team. So you said I want to talk about the back four in a minute because it's really important. It's really important for any team to have a solid, established back four. But I think the important part about that team that you had was that you had such a solid core of lads that even though there was like a drink, whatever they say, drinking culture, blah blah blah, this blah 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 blah. First and foremost, they were just good, solid, hard-working, dedicated winners, weren't they?
Yeah.
Winners that wouldn't let other people's standards drop.
No, exactly. And they all knew exactly what to do with, if somebody pushed in, somebody would cover. But it weren't through luck or anything. Like George Graham drilled them so many times. And, it'd be the back four and me behind. And there'd be like 8 attackers or something. And they
Can't get through.
couldn't get through.
Brilliant.
They knew exactly what to do. It was it was brilliant. It was ace to be behind. And, a lot of people, but it was easy for you because you played behind that. I was like, but it took some organisation.
Bloody right, it did as well.
And it does, but like you say about the conversations that you have with players on the pitch, that was going on between them four all the time.
That's it.
And I only
incredible.
had to chip in every now and then, because I weren't one of those goalkeepers that shouts all the time, even when they're on the halfway line. Because if you keep shouting, they turn off.
Yeah,
They
white
switch
noise.
off,
It goes
don't
white noise, doesn't it? Yeah.
And it weren't until like it would get closer to me, and then I'd start like runner or man on or that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Just a clear, loud.
That's it. Concise. They know what it is.
Yeah.
I can imagine though playing with a set back four week in, week out. Well, to be fair, you had 5 really, didn't you? Winterburn, Lee Dixon, Bold, Keown, and Tony Adams.
Yeah.
So there's 5 of them really. But that's so.
And then and then even when that started to get like a little bit too old in what I think it was, I don't know. Tony retired and Lee in 2002.
Yeah.
After the second double, but they were like done. And then people like Sol came in.
Yeah, blooming heck.
Colo
Oh my God, Colo Torre. When he first came to Arsenal, you would not believe it. It was like like kid in the school playground.
Yeah.
And he'd play football, and they all just follow the ball everywhere. He was doing that in training. He was so
enthusiastic,
so enthusiastic about being at Arsenal. We're like, Colo, stay in your position. But he learned.
Really?
He took it all in, but he was so raw when he first came.
That's incredible. You can take such a raw talent and proper coaching, proper manager, proper coaching, proper team sort of ethics can mould somebody into something.
But that was an incredible back four. Like you said again, the evolution, because you had Lauren at right back.
Yeah.
And Ashley Cole, for me,
Ashley Cole,
best English fullback
I
ever.
know.
He was unbelievable, Ashley
He
Cole.
was so fast, actually.
Yeah.
Over like 10 yards. He was the fastest at the club.
Yeah.
He beat everybody. He beat Overmars.
No.
He beat Overmars over 6, 7, 8 yards because they do these times, they time them and everything.
Yeah, of course,
and Ashley was the fastest.
And Overmars was rapid, wasn't he?
Rapid, what a player. I used to love Ashley Cole. When I was with England, he just used to take everything in his stride all the time and just... It weren't no thing to him. He just got on with it. He was brilliant. I know he got a lot of abuse for that Cashley thing when he left and all that kind of stuff.
And to be fair, that weren't his fault. That was Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal reneged on a deal that they offered him. And I always said it, and people ask me about it. I go, no, whoa. That's not right.
Yeah.
Because he did get labelled with that, and it wasn't that.
He's just gone back with Frank, hasn't he? He's gone Frank, obviously, at Everton, hasn't he? Yeah, nice.
He's doing some under-21 work.
Yeah, he was,
England,
at England.
Yeah.
So what was your favourite? What do you think was the best Arsenal team you played in? It's a hard question, that.
It is, because when I first went, my first season we won the league, and we were that's where 1-0 to the Arsenal came. You know, we were proper defensive. We were long ball, but we knew how to play it. We knew how to play it. We knew how to defend it. And I ended up with double hernia. The amount of kicking I used to do. I used to take all the free kicks around in my half.
It was going in,
and it was going into a certain. It weren't just getting pumped. It was going into a certain area.
Yeah, nice. Get round it. Boom.
Get round it. Rebounds, all knockdowns and all that. And so that was a different Arsenal team. But George Graham got the best out of that squad.
Yeah.
You know, they won at Liverpool in '89.
Yeah.
And then we won in 1991.
Yeah.
And you know, he was different. He was hard, more vocal than what Arsene was. But yeah, he knew how to get the best out.
Effective, just as effective. Yeah.
Knew how to get the best out of a squad that wasn't brilliantly talented.
Yeah, incredible.
But it knew how to win. So it's hard, you know. So I've got that. I did my Arsenal team, and I put Luke in goal. I'm not putting myself in.
Put Luke. National treasure, and he's humble. What a guy.
We're putting you in.
Yeah. So I put whoever in goal, and then I went the back four with like Dico, Baldy, Tony, and Nigel.
Yeah.
Then I went Vieira, Petit, Perez.
Oh,
so I went 4-3-3.
He was unbelievable.
And I had to go 4-3-3 because, you know, now
you can't leave any of them free midfielders out, really, though.
Strikers to choose. And
what about Freddie Lundberg?
I know, but I've only got, so I've done them. And
it's only 11 players in a team.
And I just went, I went Henry, Bergkamp, right.
Oh my gosh. Actually, Cole hasn't even got a mention.
No.
Love you, Max. Love you, mate. Honestly, Soul.
Yeah.
Soul.
But I had to go with that back four because, you know, and I always say, as what you said earlier with Martin, because Martin was a massive part of that team, you know, but he just wasn't in all the time.
Yeah.
I've got a football fan question here. So this is like, as a proper football fan, especially that era. So you won 2 doubles, yeah? Mm-hmm. 97, 98, 2001, 2002. 2 incredible teams. Now, sandwiched somewhere in the middle of that was Man United winning the treble.
Yeah.
What drive did that give to that Arsenal team? Because you've obviously won the double. Next year they've won the treble.
I know. Yeah. It wasn't just then. It was all the way through. You know, because especially when they got Schmeichel, then they started doing. You know, they were.
He took them to the next level a bit.
Yeah,
really, didn't
he? Leeds won. So we won it in 1991. I think Leeds won it the next year. And then who was it that won the first Premier League? Was that Blackburn?
No,
it was.
Or was it Man United? It could have been Man United.
I think it was Man United.
But I remember seeing the trophy.
Yeah,
I remember seeing them with the brand new trophy.
New trophy.
And I was like,
nice that trophy.
I was like, that looks ace.
I want that,
and I want to drink champagne out of that.
Yeah,
I've done it with all the others,
right.
but I wanted something out of that. And I remember just thinking, but it was Man United, and then they just started winning, and we won the cup double, you know. So that's why I'm not very welcome in Sheffield, because we beat Sheff Wednesday in 2 finals.
Yeah.
The FA Cup.
I remember the Sheff Wednesday one was the one where, what's his name? The player got
Steve Morrow.
Steve Morrow, yeah.
Tony lifted him up and dropped him.
I broke his collarbone, didn't he? Or shoulder.
He broke his arm.
He was in a bad way, weren't he?
Yeah, because he scored the winner.
Yeah.
So Tony lifted him up. He fell over and he put his arm down, and we saw him on the floor. And we were like, "Get up, Stevie! What's up with you?" Then then we looked and we were like,
"Oh yeah."
It just went white.
Oh.
And then we were like, "Dog."
Yeah.
Yeah. And that So, you know, so we'd done all that, but Man United were winning the league regular.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where all that real competition came. And it's only because at that sort of stage, it was if they didn't win it, we'd won it.
Yeah, one or the other. That was it.
I think it was with
Wenger
and Ferguson and the team. Like you said, that treble was like sandwiched between 2. It's like double doubles, wasn't it? I think those 2 teams at that time just constantly drove each other forward.
This is the Premier League pomp era for me.
Yeah, agreed.
This is the pomp era, isn't it? This is where like we were at the age of probably, what were we, like 17, 16, 15, and it was just it was incredible.
It was good because it was more physical as well.
You could get away with a lot more. Yeah.
you know, all that first one was free and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know,
I
I've
know.
seen Baldy and Tony Adams like absolutely clatter some.
They were dying out on
strikers.
that first one, weren't they?
Yeah.
Horrible.
You
There
know,
were some
but-
proper challenges back then.
You know, so but it's, you know, it's what it is now. But it's you know, when you look back at that and you just, it was good times. You know, all them like the bits in the tunnel and all that. You know, I wasn't playing in that game, but you know, I've seen that.
Just part of the theatre, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
You know, that's,
I've got a goalie question. So you've obviously played and trained with a lot of different goalkeepers, Arsenal, England, all the other teams, all that kind of stuff. Who, in your opinion, is the best goalie you've ever trained with first and played against second? Best goalie you've ever trained with. You saw up close and personal and thought, he's got to beat him.
do you know what it was?
Go on.
Schultz.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, wow. When I first joined up
Yeah,
with
go on.
England, he was in and he was doing drills, like call it volleys. I don't know whether you've done it, where the guy's got the ball just there and he just throws it out somebody's side, puts it out, turn.
Bang.
Oh, and he was like so good at it.
Really?
And Mike Kelly was his coach on England duty, like, you know, my coach as well, and Woodsy's. But yeah, I was like, whoa.
How
you know,
old was he at this
really
point?
is
Yeah.
good. He must have been. So it was just before Italian 90s. So he must have been about 30.
Yeah.
No, 35, 36.
Oh,
like
really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Not young then,
No,
but sort of,
but
sharp as still.
The close range stuff.
Really?
Was just frightening. Yeah. His reactions, his set position, his balance was
Beautiful.
just perfect. You know, like that little leaning forward.
Yes, nice.
But he could get down. He would get down with his hand.
Yeah.
You very rarely saw him save with
Foot
his feet.
saves.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love
No,
this
but
kind
it
of stuff.
it was all about his, from the volleys, you know, the set position that he would get, where he's just leaning forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, never went back.
Oh,
He was a
God.
bugger though, because like, so we'd be in training, and he used to work hard in training. So me and Woodsy would have to do the same.
Yeah.
We'd all be knackered.
Blowing.
Right.
And he's 35 still.
Yeah, but then the goalies have to go to the first team, don't they? And he go, right, I'm going
That's
in.
me done that. Unlucky.
Yeah, me and Woodsy go like this. Oh, God.
You're about to go do a shooting session for another
exactly.
half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brutal.
That's brilliant. Right,
Oh, I
so
love it. no. I'm
sorry.
sorry. Against. We didn't get the
play
sorry
it
against.
Fuzzy.
So that's one for the goalies out there, because the goalies would have listened to that, and all the little
Yeah.
details of all the little bits and bobs that you mentioned is I'm listening to it going, oh my God, I want to see this video. I want to see the video of you training with him, and like I want to see those little movements.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
do. I love it.
And then played against, I'd say Schmeichel,
Yeah. Okay.
of course.
because you know of the standards that he set, and the different way of goalkeeping that he brought to the Premier League. You know, I'm just finding it hard to remember some of the international goals I played against, but you know, he was everything. You know, he was aggressive,
Yeah.
because that made him play better. But he made different saves. You know, like when he first came, the spread that he used to do. You know,
Never
it was
been
just
seen
amazing,
before.
weren't it?
Never
You
been
know, you're
seen
like,
before.
What?
Yeah.
You know, you think, oh, just slide it under him. But even when he tried that, he got it.
I know.
Did you ever play against someone like Schmeichel and almost like not question yourself, but think, I should try and adopt that, or I'm going to try that in training? Or did you just accept that you were different styles of goalkeepers?
No, I accepted that we were different. You know, and a funny story. When I went to Man City, Casper was
Young kid, yeah.
the young kid
Yeah.
at Man City, right? So we were training together, and we're doing just volleying at each other, and he'd catch it like this.
Yeah, that weird one.
Yeah, that's
I'd be like,
strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I went, Casper, you can't catch it like that. I said, that's not right. And I was like, but your dad does it, doesn't he?
You carry on, son.
Shut up, Dave. My dad told me how to do that.
Carry on.
I'm going to get my dad to batter you.
My dad says this. Well, your dad's. Oh no, yeah, carry on.
What does your dad know about football?
Yeah, we were talking about different styles and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were sort of talking about the spread there. I think his spread was a spread, but he was still looking at the ball, and he was still kind of reacting while spreading.
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredible, isn't it?
I know.
It's because your natural, like, it's human nature to, when somebody wellies something at you, you go and you turn away.
Yeah.
You do. But I've started to see it with Alisson a lot as well. He's very good at. He does a very similar thing. He made a save against James Maddison the other day. It's I won't say it's a lucky save, but he's spread himself in a way, but he's looking He's looking at where the ball
it's
is.
late as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
That's the key of it. Is it's a late spread.
Yeah.
Because when I was known for when like a 1v1,
Yeah.
I would stand up and just wait
Yeah.
as long as I could. Don't make their mind up for them.
It's true.
Let them beat you.
At the top level, the top Premier League level, if you go a split second, and we're talking a split second, this is why I think Alisson is the number one at the minute, because he does all these sort of things. He spreads a lot, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's not just a token spread and hope for the best. He knows what he's doing. He's getting himself in the optimal position, but reacting at the same time. It's incredible,
He's not just
isn't
doing
it?
that, is he?
Yeah.
Like, he can do that as well.
I know.
He can move to it.
Yeah, it's good to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
Evolution of goalkeeping.
Absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant.
Right, okay, so we are nearly there. One thing Fozzie and I have been talking about lately, because he's a bit of a ripe old age himself now in the footballing world.
I've heard all that.
Yeah. For retirement, when you retired, obviously it kind of got taken out of your hands a little bit with the injury at Man City. When that tap of football gets turned off overnight, how did you respond to that?
I was ready for it, honestly. And I can say, God's honest truth, I have not missed it that much.
Really?
Wow.
Not one.
40 years old?
40 years old
Yeah.
I was ready for retirement. I was ready for a different part of my life. And
Did you know what was coming?
I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
I knew what was coming. I knew that I'll be having a bit more time to myself. What did I want to do? Did I want to do coaching? And that was like half in my head.
Yeah.
But no, I was, like I said to you, when I had that feeling on the pitch, I was like, what am I doing?
Bored almost.
Just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And
No, enough's enough, kind of.
yeah, and because at that age, it's going to be in your mind.
Yeah.
As to what signs do you get, what feelings do you get, and I had that, and that was it. But yeah, after I retired, I was only gutted. I was gutted because I didn't get a chance to play against Arsenal at Highbury.
Yeah.
I played at Man City.
Yeah.
So we played them at Man City,
Yeah.
and I remember going out, and I think Kevin made me captain for the day, and we got beat 2-1, but we scored an equaliser, as in Man City.
Yeah.
I call it. And I was like running, I was giving it loads,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
Thierry Henry, he looked at me like, David, what are you doing? I was like, doesn't matter. Yeah. and I remember going out the tunnel. I was thinking, don't throw it to a red shirt. Don't throw it to a red shirt.
It's true. You just spent like the best part of your
I know,
career
yeah.
doing exactly that,
Yeah.
and then
Thought
you've
about
got
that.
yeah, it's incredible. So I think
Or even a yellow. I think they had yellow shirts
away shirt on it.
Yeah.
But you obviously you're massive into your fishing, your fishing. So I guarantee a part of your brain was thinking, oh my god,
More
I'm going to
time
be
for
able to
that.
go some unbelievable places
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, just to go fishing.
Yeah.
And I love my golf. And then I started with the skating as well.
Yeah.
I did the very first dancing on ice
Yeah,
shows.
of course, yeah.
And that was something that I loved, And just before that, I'd done the BBC version because
Yeah.
Gazza was doing it, broke a bone in his neck in training, and I had to pull out. And they said, "Can you come in and step in for Gazza?" I was like, "How long have I got?" They went, 10 days.
Oh, all the
And
best.
they'd all been training for like months. And anyway, I ended up winning it, but I could skate. I know I can skate. I know I can't dance, and I know I can't sing. And I've been asked to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Like singing, mass singing, mass dancing.
yeah.
Strictly and all them lot, and I'm like, no chance. They're like, why? Well, Schultz is doing it, Schmeichel's doing it, Jamel's doing it. I was like, that's exactly why I'm not doing it.
Michael Owen did it the other week, didn't he?
I know, but
Yeah.
I can't. I can't sing and I can't dance. But if there's other stuff that comes along, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to like pick and choose.
And
So sorry. I think it's just fair to say then when you're coming to the end and you know it's enough, you were actually looking forward to the next part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was going to finish, and I
Yeah.
think that's what it's good advice to any footballer.
Yeah.
Is it is going to be over, but play until it is.
Yeah. Enough.
Because the worst thing must be when you get injured at a young age and you can't carry on
Yeah.
playing. That's got to be a
Scary,
problem,
that is.
Yeah.
That is scary, isn't
we were
it?
talking about that yesterday, weren't we?
Yeah. But trust me, once it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
And it's it was like a relief.
Yeah.
Because I've been in it for ages, doing it, and I've been, I've tasted everything.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
Like winning, losing, relegation, doubles, England, all that sort of stuff. It's nice to just go,
Oh, what
that's
a
that.
lad. David Seaman, what a legend.
Yeah.
I think we need to leave it on there. By the way, can I just did your body hurt every single day, by the way, at 39, 40, like 40?
Yeah.
Oh, good, it's not just me then, bloody hell.
But it's because as goalkeepers, we train so hard in the week. You know, it's not from matches, is it?
No,
you don't ache after a match.
Football match, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
It is. It's the training, isn't it?
It's the training.
Oh, well, that's put my mind at rest a little bit.
I'll
keep churning it out, Dave. Thank you for the advice,
that was
mate.
fantastic. Thank you so much.
We always finish every episode, Dave. We look into that camera there.
No, yeah.
That camera there. And I will start us off with Up the Fozcast.
Up the Fozcast.
Up the Fozcast.
Yes, David Seaman. What a legend.
What a legend.